All right, by the way, it's just recording me in case you were wondering, so nobody else sees what's going on. Now, in your grammar books, have you done Fix-It Grammar before? But Asia, have you done this book like this before? Maybe. Okay, that's good. You might recognize some of this stuff. So we're talking about clauses today. You already know about the who, which clause and the because clause. Those are examples, and we're talking about, it says it's a group of related words that contains both a subject and a verb. So remember, phrases like the prepositional phrase, they don't have verbs, but clauses do. So the dependent clause is a clause that cannot stand alone as a sentence because it does not express a complete thought. Dependent clauses begin with the word that causes them to be an incomplete thought. So in this book, you've learned 3 types of dependent clauses. Here they are: who, which. I forgot about the that clause. An adverb clause begins with a WWW word. If you don't know what that is yet, you will, because we'll do those a lot. I'll remind you guys as we go here. But the main clause is a clause because it contains a subject and a verb. A main clause expresses a complete thought, so it can stand alone as a sentence. That's how we mark with a bracket. The other clauses are marked with parentheses. So look at this example. I'm kind of in the middle of the page here. Families lived in the forest. Every sentence must have a main clause. So there you go. You have your subject, families, and lived is your verb. Here, there's more added. Families lived in the forest because they lost their homes. So this is a because clause. And it gives more information about the main clause, but it can't stand alone. Like if I just took off that first part and it started with because they lost their homes, it would not be complete. You could switch those and start with because, but you would still have to have the rest of the sentence, families lived in the forest, after. Remember how I told you guys, if you add a who, which clause, it steals the verb from the sentence? So whenever you add a clause like that, you need to have a second verb after the clause in there somewhere. So we'll keep talking about that as we go. But okay, square brackets around main clause, write V above each verb and S above each subject. So look at this example here. Usually that would be an adverb opener. Robin practiced archery in the morning. So you've got your main clause with your subject Robin and verb is practiced. When you mark the main clause with square brackets, begin with the subject of the main clause. Sometimes an article or adjectives will come before the subject. And then down at the bottom, it says, think about it. The word because usually begins an adverb clause. However, when because is followed by of, like because of, the 2 words together are considered a preposition. So here's an adverb clause. Here's the difference. Down at the bottom is where I'm at. Robin aimed carefully because he wanted the prize. That's a clause because it has he wanted, remember, subject verb. Because he wanted the prize is an adverb clause, WWW word because plus subject he plus verb wanted. And then down here at the very bottom, prepositional phrase, Robin aimed carefully because of the prize. So notice there's no verb there after because, it just says because of the prize. So because of the prize is a prepositional phrase. The preposition is because of, and then plus a noun, prize, but no verb. Blah, 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 blah. All right, any questions about that? Good. Go ahead and turn to page 57. 57. Any volunteers to read that sentence today? Okay, Victoria.
Robin's followers declared that they were brought in to their outfit.
Okay, good. Declared is our vocabulary word in bold there. So who can tell me what declared means, Victoria?
Like announced kind of.
Yeah. Like state it confidently or yeah. In a strong way. Declare. I declare today's a day off. Anyway, just kidding. So you can put a check. So as we go, Asia, we just put checks by our list on top here. So you can go ahead and put a check by vocabulary because we made sure we understood what that word was. And then we don't have any articles today in here. So Serena, what is the one noun we have in that sentence?
Robin.
Yes, let's see. Actually, you're looking at robins with the apostrophe, the
What
first
about
word?
the, like,
Because it has an apostrophe, it's telling whose. Ah, so it's not robins.
followers?
That's, yes, followers is the noun, because those are people that are following Robin. But yes, because it has an apostrophe S, that's a possessive. It's actually an adjective. All right, there's three pronouns. Olivia, what are the three pronouns?
Pronouns who,
Yep, in the who clause.
and then
Wait, hold on. Why is this one so hard for me? Not who. It's not who. That's going to be the subject.
Robins.
No, that's the adjective.
Wait, the pronouns.
Pronouns. They. Remember, they take the place of the noun. So like he, her, she,
So
him,
they, everyone, and them. Yeah.
they, everyone, yep, and them. Yep, you got it. That's right. But sometimes who is the pronoun, but not in that one. It's them, not in that clause. Okay, so adjective, Paisley. I already told you. So.
Robin.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because it's telling whose followers. So Robins is the adjective there. Only one. And then Mia, what about the who, which clause?
Who.
Who, what's the whole clause?
Who had robbed them?
Who had robbed them? So that is with parentheses. I'm sorry, Asia. I forgot to explain how we label these. So each part of speech is labeled with like the N for the noun, the ADJ for adjective, PR for pronoun, and then for the who clause, who had robbed them, you're right, that's the whole clause. You put it in parentheses, and then we're gonna label that clause with W/W. I forgot to go over that with you, so I know you're just kind of like joining us in the middle of this class, so but you'll catch on pretty quick, so. What else is there? That clause. So Victoria, do you know what that clause is?
That clause. That they would rob everyone.
That they would rob everyone. Good. So we're gonna put that in parentheses too. So you're gonna go that they would rob everyone goes in parentheses, and then right above that word that, we're gonna write that. Good. What else is there? We got that, and we're checking as we go here on top. There's a main clause. Serena, do you know where the main clause is?
Robin's followers declared.
Yes. Robin's followers declared. Now for the main clause, we're gonna use brackets, which are those square brackets.
This has so many parentheses. This doesn't.
It does, no, like the whole thing is in parentheses and stuff.
Well, at least you don't have to fix much.
So how about Asia, do you know where the verbs are? So those are gonna be either action or helping or linking verbs. And just see if you can find any and we'll help you if you need help with those.
Declared.
Declared is one.
Robbed. And
Yep.
robbed.
And robbed, yep. And would actually, because would is a helping verb. We're labeling these with V, by the way. So you've got declared, would, and rob. And then had robbed. Had is also a helping verb, so it goes with robbed. So with those verbs are subjects. So how about Olivia, what are the subjects here?
So Robin.
So Robins is the adjective. There you go. Followers is one. So we're gonna put an S right on top of that N there for followers, because it's also a subject, so subject and noun. So each verb has a subject, so you're right. The followers declared who would rob.
Everyone. I mean, wait. They would.
They is the subject in that part. Each of those clauses has a subject, by the way. So we've got followers declared, they would rob. And then who had robbed?
Them. So.
So who, yes. Who is the subject? In the who, which clause. Do you guys get that? Yeah. Did you get that okay, Asia, back there? Okay. So who is actually the subject in the last part? And then the opener, Paisley, do you know what opener it is?
Three. Right.
Not
Oh, yeah.
And
so
then
the
two preposition, and then.
One is subject, so is it four? What is four? It's four.
What is for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it-
what's doing for.
I don't think we've done that one yet.
Yes, we have.
I think it's one because it's like.
Yeah, I think it was one.
Oh, yeah, we aren't even gonna do four in this one. So it's one is subject, two is prepositional, three ly adverb, five clausal, six VSS. That's the one I don't think we've done that one yet.
Maybe it's clausal five, because it is in the
I don't
clause.
think we've done five.
We have
No, I don't think we haven't done five yet either.
Yes.
It's actually one, even though it starts with an adjective, that's okay. It's like right after that is the subject. So it's gonna be, you're gonna put a one, here, I'll show you how to do this. Let me show you. So we're learning about different openers for sentences. And that's how we label it with the one in the subject. So because it starts with the subject of the sentence here, followers, even though we use an adjective first, it's still considered a subject opener. How about Mia, where does the capital go? Robin's good, and the Victoria, where's that, what's the end mark?
Period.
Good. So when we label the capitals, we do three little lines under the letter that needs to be capitalized, so three little lines under the R there. So that's everything. You got that? Cool. Good. And then so what I always say is later, you guys can rewrite it down at the bottom. And then your homework for grammar is going to be the next 3 pages. So you'll do pages 58, 59, and 60. And by the way, Asia, we do, I have Google Classroom. Your mom already logged into that. So your homework assignment will be on there. And I always post the answer key to this grammar book. So what I tell everybody to do is do the homework by yourself for grammar, and then go back and look at the answer key and check it. If you miss anything, you can fix it. But check with your mom first, because some moms want to do the checking, and some moms are like, you can do the checking. So it's up to you, whatever you guys decide. But that's it for grammar as far as the lesson today. Unless anybody has any questions. No questions. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get out your binders now. I know I have yours here. I might have to fix this after class, actually. Ooh. So,
Are we supposed to print them about paper?
no, not this time.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna fix yours, like rearrange it after class. So, don't worry about it yet. I'll make sure, if you can stay a little bit after, I'll help you organize it. So, last week, well, your homework that was due last night, or last week, it didn't matter, whenever you turned it in before today, because I know you did yours early, which is good. I thought you turned it in on the 19th. Was that you or somebody else? Oh. Anyways.
I did mine.
Oh, you did it yesterday? Never mind. So the homework was to finish your report. I thought yours was good. I actually read yours and it was really good. I didn't even have any corrections for you. So that,
I finished my paper, but my mom didn't fix it. And I mean, I took out everything and like, I wrote it on there, so I did it, and then my grant was done. I just haven't.
Okay.
I finished mine.
Okay.
I did do it.
I believe you. Okay,
I finished mine yesterday, I just turned it in today.
that's fine. Okay. So you guys should have finished the dangerous birds report. So basically what we did this last week before Thanksgiving was read some articles about 3 different dangerous birds. And then they did a report on that. So, rather than taking the time to read your report in class, I'm just gonna give you guys feedback on Google Classroom, and then we can just keep going on to the next thing, because I really like this next one. But before we get started with it, let's review a couple of things. See if you have your notes from last time before Thanksgiving
The one with,
about
like all the,
summarizing. Remember we talked about summarizing a reference?
yes.
You should have some class notes. Oh yeah, yes, class notes. Perfect.
Oh. This one.
So don't worry about this part. Asia, you can just watch and listen here. Summarizing a reference. So a reference, that's an article usually. But last time, I keep saying last week, but you know, when I say last week, I mean last week. But anyway, we talked about summarizing and how the prefix of this word says SUM, and we think of math, right? When you're looking for a total, like 4 + 5 = 9. So the sum of 4 + 5 is 9, and you might think the total. But that's not what we're doing when we write a report. When we summarize something, it's more like this. SOME, sum, right? We read an article that has maybe 50 things about birds, or 50 things about volcanoes, or 50 things about Mars, and we only do a report on maybe 10. So we give some information about a lot that we read about. So that's one thing I wanted to remind you about. Plus, do you guys remember me talking about this? Subject. That's the main thing. Like you guys were talking about dangerous birds, for instance. That's your subject. And then what are these that come, what 3 things do you put under subject? Do you remember? Topics. There you go. Good.
Can we move all the dangerous bird stuff to our finished?
Not yet though. Just hang on to it for a minute.
Okay, no, that's
And then-
fine. I was just-
Yeah. Yeah, we will. We're going to be done with it for today. So basically, these topics are more information about dangerous birds. Hooded pitahui. What was the other ones? African ostrich.
Southern cassowary.
Southern cassowary. Those were the 3 topics about dangerous birds. And then underneath those topics, you guys had facts, right? Yeah. So, how did you pick what facts to put in your report, Victoria?
Things that seem like important or interesting to you.
Important or interesting? That's the one I like the best, because when you're reading about something, if you're choosing interesting things to put in your report, that usually means the person reading it will also find it interesting and not too boring. But you also said important, so maybe that's another, or relevant. Those are the 3 types of information you're looking for. Oh, I didn't spell it right. Important. There you go.
Right here.
The new word of the day, important. Important. So those are the types of information that, like facts that you're looking for to put in your report. We also talked about the topic clincher rule. Do you guys remember that? You don't need to put everything away yet. Just kind of hang in there for a second. Do you guys remember the hand motions and everything?
Yeah.
See if you can do it. I'll see if you can do it by yourself. Ready?
Topic, sentence, in a clincher sentence, must repeat or reflect
2 or 3
key words.
Nice. Yay. That makes me so happy.
That's like
Good. Yes. That's so, and you know, when you do little hand motions, I know it's goofy, but it helps you remember, because as soon as I went like this, you're like the topics, and like you remember the motion. So I know it's corny,
Yes.
whatever, but it helps you remember. That's the main thing. You don't have to go to school and go the topic sentence. You can just do it in here. Everybody knows. But anyway, that is important to start working in on your papers, and I saw it so far. I haven't graded everybody's yet, but so far you guys are doing a really good job with that. So now we can put away the dangerous birds. You have a pink and a yellow page. Those go in a different spot. The pink page goes behind the dress ups tab.
The yellow page?
The yellow page is going to go behind model charts and outlines.
Wait.
Oh, the pink page, I'm sorry, goes behind stylistic techniques.
Okay, wait, do you want this to be put away too?
Yes, this class notes can go ahead and put away those behind.
The finished composition?
Yes, finished compositions.
Give me a minute.
Yep, you got it. So yellow,
Say the color of the.
no idea. Just in case you're colorblind. It's just thinking, like, okay, yeah, that works.
Dangerous bird. Wait, where does the?
It all goes behind finished compositions. The yellow one goes behind model charts and graphs,
Wait, where's my?
or model charts and outlines, yeah.
Where's the model?
I just have to leave it all behind the thing.
I'll find it.
Oh, here it is.
And this goes to the. No, wait, it doesn't. Wait, okay.
Wait, I'm sorry, where does pink and yellow go?
Okay.
Pink goes somewhere different. Pink goes behind the stylistic.
Total chaos. It's all right. You guys figure it out?
Okay, no, wait, that's
Different side.
I get it.
Other pink paper.
Where there's no other pink. So whenever you go
The
to,
yellow and the pink of it?
no. Ay, ay, ay.
Sorry. Yellow goes.
Model charts and
Oh,
outline. Okay, the pink ones are really good pages, by the way, for you to have, because when you go to do your paragraphs and you need a good LY adverb, go to that section, the stylistic techniques, and then that'll help you find something. You can add. Okay, so now, I know, we're all over the place, you can just leave that in there for now. But you're gonna get out week 8. Which is Mike the Headless Chicken.
What?
Yes. So you're gonna get out,
What?
I've read the story.
just those 3 pages right
That's
there. You can
interesting.
take those out.
Okay, what is the paper?
My
name's Mike.
Mike the Headless
Who names
Chicken.
their headless?
True story, by the way.
What?
They try and name the chicken Mike and then it went headless and.
Stylistic
yeah.
techniques behind
Like,
this.
why would you name your chicken?
We named our chickens, and then sometimes, predators would come and take them, and then we'd be so sad because we're attached because we named them. So we try not to name them
I
because
know, my friend.
we don't want to get too attached to them.
My friend stopped naming her chicken. She just calls them all chicken.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you only name
I have a couple that I've named, but not all of them.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
We only have a couple of red chickens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That helps when you have a lot that look the same.
We have a bear in our neighborhood. I named it Hank.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
cute.
And then Levi named his baby.
Oh, no, that's right. So what are you gonna do now?
His name is still Hank.
Okay,
Now Hank is a brother.
that's cute. That's funny. All right, so you should have week 8 out and a lined piece of paper. So go ahead and get it out on your table there. And this is,
This one's.
so basically that top line on the left, Asia, do you have lined paper? I think I saw some in
Wait.
there. Okay,
Wait.
perfect. Got some.
Wait, I mean, okay.
Take out week 8. It's only 3 pages. Put your name on the upper left-hand corner up here. Asia, your name goes there, and then underneath your name, you're gonna put the date, which is 11/27 already. It means like December is coming.
Christmas is almost here.
I know. Well, Wednesday's my birthday.
Wednesday. is
Wednesday.
one of our friends' birthday.
Well, and Jeremiah, right? His birthday's
Yes.
Friday.
Yeah.
That's what I heard this
Yes.
morning.
Yeah.
Cause I've talked to him before. We're like, hey, do we have birthdays almost the same time?
No, Krista Donkles.
Say it again.
Krista Donkles.
I don't think so.
Well, usually.
His birthday's coming up too. Okay. Ooh. Mike, the headless chicken.
Are we highlighting stuff as you guys say?
Yes, we will be, so you can get your highlighters out. Go ahead and skip a line though, and let's make sure to label this Mike. The headless. If you don't have highlighters today, that's okay. You can still underline. KWO. Oh, it's okay. This is basically just your notes, so if it's not perfect, hey, don't worry about it. Our goal is to write 3 paragraphs, okay? Obviously, the original has way more than 3 paragraphs, so we're gonna set up our outline. Skip a line, you're gonna do Roman numeral 1, and then 1 through. Is it 7? No, it's 5. Phew. 1 through 5, and then skip a line, Roman numeral 2, 1 through 5. Roman numeral 3.
Wait, so we basically have to write an essay?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do every week in here. I know. I don't take it personally. But yes, this is writing, so. All right. So basically you got 3 Roman numerals with 1 through 5. And remember, let's go ahead and add this in here. I know my paper's kind of wonky up here on the whiteboard, but write topic next to the Roman numeral 1, and then next to 5, put clincher. And go ahead and do that on all of them. That's just a reminder that you're going to be making sure to include a topic and clincher for each paragraph. Most of you guys are typing, so when you type, you want to either highlight or change to bold. Do you like to type, Elijah? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's her brother is Elijah, and I had him earlier today, and the name is stuck in my head. It doesn't mean you look like him at all, because you don't. Aisha, do you like to type or do you like to handwrite? Okay, good. Do you like to use Word, or do you know how to use Google Docs? You done that one? Okay, cool. That's
Google
the
Docs is
best.
way better.
Yes, way better. And then I
Yes.
can give you comments. Like, have you used Google Classroom before too?
We use Google.
Okay.
No, I was Google.
Oh yeah, because you can make your documents live and you can actually communicate back and forth. So use Google Docs when you go to type your, we always do write like handwritten notes on our outlines, but then when you do your homework later, you can pull up Google Docs and type it out. Okay. We got that set up. On the back, this is the back page. Turn your keyword outline over to the back, and then I just want you to put possible at the top, possible topics. And we're going to list some possible topics as we go and read this article. Now I'm going to read this, and I want you guys to, just to start, you can underline, you can highlight, you can write notes in the margin, whatever stands out to you, go ahead and mark it on the original story. And then we'll see if we can come up with some possible topics and fill that in. All right. True story. I'll go ahead and read it. You guys mark it up as I read. Just look for things that stand out to you, okay? And also be thinking of what are some possible topics that we could include. By the way, you only need 3, but there's going to be more than 3, so we'll have to decide which ones you want to pick. So, okay. On September 10th, 1945, so this was many, many years ago, Lloyd and Clara Olson of Fruita, Colorado, were killing and processing chickens to take to the meat market. Okay, so hopefully nobody's like grossed out over how we process
Oh, I've
chickens.
been to before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so have I. So it is, there's different ways of doing it, but probably the most common, especially back then. Well, I'll just keep reading. One of them was a 5.5-month-old Wyandotte rooster. The chicken squirmed and Olson's axe failed to make a clean cut, removing the bulk of the head but missing the jugular vein and leaving most of the brain stem and one ear intact. So what happened was, back then, I know, sorry if you're grossed out, but they would cut off their heads, okay, for a chicken to butcher them. And this one they kind of missed, right? They didn't get the whole thing. And it was squirming, so it was moving, it squirmed and it moved. But I'll keep going. Surprisingly, the headless chicken was still able to walk. It attempted to preen, peck for food, and crow, although its crowing was more of a gurgling sound from its throat. Okay, so preen just means like cleaning itself, right? So it attempted to preen, but obviously it didn't have a beak or anything, so the head was gone. Let me know if anybody's gonna pass out in here, all right? But we're gonna keep going. It was placed in an old apple box for the night, and when the bird was still alive the next morning, Olson took it to town with the rest of his carcasses. He started betting people that he had a live headless chicken. Because sometimes, I know because you've done it before, they still move,
Yeah,
right? After you kill
right.
them. Yeah.
Cause their heart's still young, yeah.
Yeah, it's like their nervous system kind of just kicks in, and even though they're already dead, yeah, they move. But this guy was more than that, because he survived overnight and he was still
It's
walking
so
around,
brain.
right? So it says, gradually word spread around town, and eventually a local news reporter came to interview Olson. Lloyd and Clara had begun to care for the bird, feeding it a mixture of milk and water with an eyedropper and giving it small grains of corn. 2 weeks later, a sideshow promoter named Hope Wade visited the Olson farm with a proposition. Take the chicken on the sideshow circuit. Okay, I'm gonna pause there for a second. So the sideshow, do you guys know what a sideshow is? Have you ever heard of a circus before? I know they don't really do circuses anymore, but a circus is where they actually train animals. And the reason why they don't have them anymore is because some of them were accused of being abusive to the animals. And so they stopped that. But sideshows are like, if you've ever been to the Kern County Fair and they have this one, like this big trailer that says, come see the biggest pig that ever lived. And it's like a 500-600 pound pig or something, like this ginormous pig. And you pay $1 to go in there and see it. That's kind of what a sideshow is, kind of like freaks and weird animals that aren't natural looking, like this one, the headless chicken, right? So that's what a sideshow is. Okay. And this was popular in the 40s. So this was like your great grandparents' age. Okay. It was the 1940s and the farm was struggling. So Lloyd thought, might as well. First, they took the rooster to the University of Utah in Salt Lake City, where scientists did some testing and verified that yes, indeed, this was a living, breathing, but headless animal. Life magazine published an article on Miracle Mike the Headless Chicken, as he had been named by Mr. Wade. Then Lloyd and his wife and Mike began a tour of the country. They visited California and Arizona, and when the Olsons had to return to harvest their crops, Hope Wade took Mike on a tour of the southeastern states. People paid 25 cents to see this remarkable sight, and it was estimated that he earned for his owners as much as $4,500 in a month. And so that's basically back in the 40s. That would be like $40,000 now. That would be like almost a year's worth of wage in 1 month. So it was a bunch of money, okay? In the spring of 1947, the Olsons took Mike to Phoenix, where one night in a hotel room, they were awakened by the sound of Mike choking.
He died.
His throat filled with mucus. Have you heard this story before?
No, I just-
You just know. Oh, you just looked ahead. Ah, cheater. Normally, they would have cleared this with a syringe, but unfortunately, their feeding supplies were left at the sideshow location and they were unable to find an alternative before Mike suffocated and died. Sad day. His grandson stated that for years, he, Lloyd, would claim that he had sold the chicken to a guy in the sideshow circuit. I think he didn't ever want to admit he screwed up and let the proverbial goose that lays golden eggs die on him. Olson never told anyone what he did with Mike's dead body. How did a chicken live for 18 months with no head? Dr. Tom Smolders, a chicken expert at Newcastle University, explained that there is very little brain in the front part of a chicken's skull. It is mostly concentrated in the back. He estimates that while the beak, face, eyes, and ear were removed with the hatchet blow, as much as 80% of the brain remained, including the parts that controlled heart rate, breathing, mobility, hunger, and digestion. It seems that in Mike's case, the hatchet cut came in exactly the right place, and a timely blood clot prevented him from bleeding to death. Others have tried to replicate the Olsons' accidental and remarkable decapitation, but no one has yet succeeded. And the wealth that Mike brought the Olsons was short-lived. Although they were accused of getting filthy rich, their grandson affirms that while they did get a new tractor and a new car out of it, they continued to eke out a living on a farm for the rest of their days. Since 1999, each year around the end of May, the town of Fruita, I don't know how to say that one, I think it's Fruita, holds an annual Mike the Headless Chicken Day celebration with themed events such as Run Like a Headless Chicken 5K race, Pin the Head on the Chicken, that's a good one, Egg Toss, and Chicken Bingo, a game whereby the numbers are determined by chicken droppings falling on a numbered grid. Peep and wing eating contests, live music, and artisan booths make this a memorable weekend for the old and young alike, while commemorating the remarkable story of one chicken's will to live. The end. Okay, crazy story. They say it's true.
I mean, he was gonna die anyway, so like.
Yeah, in fact, he lived longer than anybody expected. Let's just say that. I'm going to pull up a picture of him. And it's in,
It's gonna be gross.
What?
Wait, but how does
I'm scared.
but how do you chop up like the whole face and the brain?
Yeah, if that happened to
Yeah.
us, my dad would have just chopped off the rest of its head.
Not took it on a tour.
Just be like,
yeah.
whoop,
Yeah.
just be like, whoop, my brain's still there.
Okay, hold on then.
I mean,
Let me see.
Well, stop moving for a second. Stop it here.
Okay, it's kind of gross, but it is,
wait, but how does the brain like have a pretty texture?
it's in black and white, so it's not gory.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because this is like from the 40s.
Oh, what the? How is
Oops.
that possible?
Yeah, so here's the rest of the head.
They just kept the
Wait,
head.
is that the rest of the head?
That's the rest of the head down there at the feet.
What the heck?
And then up here is where it's missing. And apparently inside there, like this top part is probably that back part of the brain that they were talking
Oh,
about.
that's how.
It was still intact. So the jugular is actually like a major artery in the neck.
Yeah.
But then there's the esophagus, right? And that's how they put the droppers of, milk and water and pieces of food in there. And if you know chickens, when they eat, they don't chew.
Yeah.
They just swallow like, be grossed out, sorry back there. They just swallow it whole and then their gizzard, yeah, like breaks it down and stuff. And so they don't really have to chew. So they could just like put pieces of food down the esophagus and it just goes to the stomach area or the gizzard. It's crazy, isn't it? I don't know. Impossible. That's why they made so much money off of him, because it was like,
Now I've seen everything.
and nobody has ever been able to replicate it. So it's sad, but they try to, they try to like cut the head, but not all the way, just to see if it'll work
Exactly.
again. And it doesn't. It was just a freak accident. And it happened to work in their favor as far as then they were able to
Yeah, but
take it to the sideshow.
yeah, but here it says something about like a tiny blood clot,
Yeah.
so that he didn't bleed to death.
Yeah. You know what a blood clot is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that it's just kind of like, that's why I keep saying it was like a freak accident, because I mean, usually when you cut that main jugular, you bleed out. I mean, there's no recovery from that, but somehow the blood clotted, so it made like a scab, and then it didn't bleed out. It stayed alive. It's crazy. I don't know.
How do you wait? How did it attempt to grow?
It gurgled. It probably had air somehow. Maybe it was, yeah. Oh, I don't even know. All right. Well, let's think for a second here. What are some, and now that we read it, what are some possible topics here that we could actually list? Yeah, that's okay. I know there's a lot of good stuff in here. Oh, here we go. So like we learned in the beginning about his owners, right? His owners. And then let's like list that on the back under possible topics. And then we learned about the accident. We'll call it the accident, right? What happened to him when they were butchering. So this is going on the back of your keyword outline. So make sure to make this list back there. What else do we hear about in this article? Like, what are some other possible topics that are in here? We learned about his owners and the accident. What else did we learn about? His fame. Good. I like that. When did he get his fame? Like, where were they?
Sideshow.
Oh, the sideshow. Maybe we could put / sideshow, because that's really how he got famous. He traveled around with the circus and everybody got to see him.
Not everybody.
Well, the people that were there that wanted to see him, that wanted to pay a quarter.
I mean, I guess I could pick, but it'd be kind of gross, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially in real like live, to see it live, it'd be
But I
like,
guess
walking
back then,
around, you're
but I guess a quarter back then was a lot more money than a quarter is now.
well, think about it. It's like,
$5.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's still really not that
but they made like $4,500 a month, they said on that. That's
So that had to
crazy.
be a ton of people.
A ton of people. Okay.
Everybody wants to see it.
We kind of learned how they took care of him, right? How they fed him and stuff. So let's put feeding / care.
Are we supposed to write this on another page?
On the back.
Oh, okay.
And then you do need to write this down. And then we learned how he died, right?
Death.
He actually
Death.
died. Yeah, death.
I mean, that was gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, eventually. And then what about at the very end? What did we learn about?
Like, I'm getting filthy rich, not.
No, that was here. They got filthy rich here, but then that stopped.
The festival.
The festivals. The festival. Okay, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These two probably could go together, because go ahead and put a bracket there, because there's not a lot of information about the owners, but there's some. And then you can kind of lead into the accident. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we only need 3, because remember we're doing 3 Roman numerals.
On average, 140 people wanted to see him.
Oh, you figured that out? How'd you do that?
I did the math.
Like 140 like per day or something?
No, like per month.
Oh. 144 million.
Where does it give you the information?
Well, it
I
does
just did the math.
with the 4,500.
No, I mean, like, where does it give you the information?
It says 4,500 in the month and then 25 cents, so I just.
Oh.
Divided it. Yeah.
So.
I thought it was, oh, you know what though? You did $25 probably. Because, yeah, you know what I mean? So it'd be 0.25. You'll have to move that decimal.
Oh, so then 1,400.
There you go. That sounds more like it. Okay, so anyways, your job this week is gonna be to write a report about Mike the Headless Chicken, so I'll help you get this started. Obviously, you're gonna pick which topics you like best. I'm gonna give you time to work on that, but I think this would be important to do first, is basically introducing who owned him and then what the accident was. So we know it's Lloyd. Wait, I did not spell that right.
I forgot. Oh.
That did not look right. Okay, how about that? Lloyd. And then her name was Clara, I think, right? Yeah, Clara, and then Olson. And then for the accident, I'm just gonna draw like an axe. I don't know.
Wait, if it's a name.
Kind of like that.
Oh, wait, it's like.
Well, it's like a square thing with, that goes out,
If it's a name.
Oh,
because it's like bigger on the end,
Mrs.
right?
Yeah,
It's
like
name, doesn't
that.
it count as one word for?
normally it does, but I
One
have both
thing.
words on there. So I mean, I have both names.
But you
I mean,
just
we
do, like,
could.
Lloyd and then Clara.
I mean,
Okay, technically we could do that.
I mean, kind of like,
You could technically do that and then write out accident. I guess we could add that word.
Or near.
Or a miracle. It turned out to be a miracle, right?
accident / miracle.
All right, now with that topic, you look back into the article and find facts that support who these people are. We'll start with that and then how the accident happened. So what do we know about Lloyd?
Farmers.
And okay, they're farmers.
chicken,
Farmers, they
Butcher
chickens.
chickens.
butcher chickens.
You can't really like draw out butcher.
I mean, you could, but.
I mean, you could, but it.
You might rearrange this a little bit, like start out by saying,
You'd have to draw it like.
maybe the year. Maybe we should put
Uh,
the year, huh, 1945.
Oh,
Because that's important to know. But you can kind of rearrange this beginning part to make it make sense as you write it. You could say in 1945, there were two farmers named Lloyd and Clara Olson who butcher chickens and take to the market. And then and then you can explain the accident. So, you know, you can use this just as a guide on how you start out your paragraph there. So we know that about them.
Oops.
Tell us now, what can we say about the rooster? How to lead into the rooster? What kind? Do you remember the breed? Oh yeah, the age is good.
Y1LB.
Wyandotte.
It's,
Wyandotte. I always said Wyandotte, but you could be right. Wyandotte. I don't know. Rooster. And then how old was he?
5.5 months old.
I'm just gonna put M old. 5.5 months old.
But old is a word.
Uh-huh. And then so let's go into more detail about the accident now. So this introduction sentence is just telling that there was an accident, but now we're going to describe what happened. How could we describe the accident? You have any ideas, Asia? He missed the chicken's head. So missed.
Is it scored?
Missed, let's call him Mike now. Or Mike.
Just do an M.
You could.
You could
And then
just, like,
circle M up here. Yeah, you could. Well, they got his head. They
This
didn't.
Mike's brain.
Missed neck.
I missed.
failed too.
They missed.
They
half his
failed.
failed too.
Because like
Half
he-
his neck.
because
They
his
failed
neck wasn't
to-
really cut in the picture. It was like
Failed.
This
half
part.
of the face.
Yeah, so
They missed, cutting it like all the way through.
missed like total,
Yeah.
and maybe we could draw a head. Or we'll make it a sad face.
But then it was like missed Mike's total head. If you read that.
That doesn't sound right. Should we do it better than that?
Neck.
Mike's. And
Neck.
then half. And then head.
Oh,
You can do the half sign.
like that.
Like a fraction, yeah.
That leaves room for one more word if we want it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What do we pick?
I have no clue.
We can leave it like that for now. If we think of something, we can add it. Oh, yeah.
Could be, what did we say we were doing?
Wiggling.
You could do, yeah, wiggling.
Oh, squirming, yeah. Wiggling. Oh, here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put squirmed. We'll keep it past tense. Tense.
Man, he must have really wants to live.
Squirm.
Well, he did.
I mean,
He
that's
did
like
have a
at the
will
end
to
of the
live.
At the end of the story.
Yeah.
The remarkable story of one chicken's will to live.
His will to live. I must live. I don't care if I don't have a head. Right?
But then he died.
Yeah, later. It was sad how he died though.
But the
So
problem
he
is-
missed the,
But what's sad is that they could've
jugular.
saved him if they had this stuff.
what else can we say about Mike here? About basically the accident. We're gonna go into the fame and all that other stuff later.
They put him in an apple box.
Okay.
He was alive.
Okay, so maybe we should say something about still alive.
So we could like draw an apple box and then write lives. Is it important what type of box he was in? I don't really. There's probably like a-
I don't know how to draw.
You could also just draw an apple.
You just do like
Box.
one line and then.
Still alive, we could say 24 hours. Right?
Or you could just draw. a
Because
clock.
didn't they say like
Oh,
24 hours later?
But you
was
could just
it?
Draw like.
I think it's 12 hours. We could put him in a-
Oh, 12?
check on him.
Wait, let's
They
check.
put him in it for the night. And the bird was still alive. the next
Look back and
morning.
see if you can find it.
That's right. It says, it was placed in an old apple box for the night, and when the bird was still
Oh.
alive, the next morning, also took it down.
Oh, okay.
So for the night. You could do like.
You could draw like,
Oh, yeah.
like what you.
A moon.
But it wouldn't be like a moon because that's like still alive in the night, but he was still alive in the morning.
Ah.
You could put like a sunrise.
sunrise.
So I would do,
I know how to draw that, like that, right?
it's just like a line with a sun. coming
There we
out of
go. That's good thinking, Serena. I like it.
it. He was alive in the morning.
Still alive in the morning. And he had most of his brainstem in one ear.
So you could still hear people talking.
Yeah, but you can't see or smell.
Let's put
anything.
brain stem
Ear.
ear.
Doesn't that mean he couldn't taste anything?
He couldn't taste anything, you're right. Well, I don't know if chickens taste. Do you think
No, I
they
don't
taste?
think
I
I
don't
think
know. They have a tongue, right? A little
Yeah.
tiny
Yeah, they
tongue
have a tongue.
to get the food to go down, but yeah,
I don't think they stay.
I don't know.
I don't think their food can have much taste.
Somehow they know, maybe they have a sense of smell. They know what to eat and what not to eat though, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't think he knew what was going on. I don't think he knew anything, Billy.
I don't think he fully understood.
But he did have
He's a-
part of his brain, so
Yeah, but
maybe.
he's a chicken and he's like half dead.
Exactly. He's a chicken. Number one, he's a chicken. Number two, he's half dead. He's got 2 strikes against him right there. All right, well, that's good. We got that filled in. Let's see what time we got. Okay, we can get this one started. So this is where you guys can decide. Do you want to talk about his fame and his sideshow, feeding and care, death, festival, or you can kind of combine these if you want. you could combine actually these two and these two,
Yeah.
if you
Because
want.
Death and feeding care are both short.
Yeah,
Like his death
oh, yeah,
won't take that long, and feeding care, it won't take that long, like.
Yeah,
that's
are
true.
simple.
I was advised.
Yeah,
to
but
say-
if the feeding
I
care
would
doesn't
combine
take that
things
much
like that.
space, then maybe just think of the sideshow,
Yeah,
and then. Since the death doesn't take much time either.
Okay.
Rather than combining those two.
all right, well, I think we could, oh, wait,
I just did.
you
those
say
like
it's
that.
better to combine these two,
No.
or like how I have it here?
Like,
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Because it combines one really long one and the one really short one. So
Yeah, so what can we put? We could put fame.
Well, you should do that one guy that came in.
Oh, right, let's
Hope
talk about
Wade-
him here, yeah,
hopefully.
but we're gonna introduce,
Did Hope Wade name him Mike? I think he did.
Yeah, hopefully make it like.
oh, he did?
Yeah,
I saw,
where he named him Mike the Miracle.
That's just
Oh,
Mike, but then they published an article saying like the miracle chicken.
oh, I see. So
Yeah.
maybe the Olsons named him Mike, but then,
Well,
No,
no,
I
Hope
think
Wade
Hope
named
Wade
him Mike.
named-
Named him Mike, but then the news article said Mike the miracle chicken.
Right.
that makes sense for Mike, because Mike and Miracle both start with M, so maybe that's what they were trying to go for, I don't know, so it sounds clever. This is gonna be about their sideshow and then care. So how he was famous with the sideshow. And then how they cared for him. So we can kind of split that up between here. So I don't know how you would make that sentence though. That sounds weird. Mike became famous.
From doing the sideshow. And then that's got scared.
I don't know. That doesn't really fit there.
They
Does it?
cared,
Mike was
they
famous
cared
because
for
he was
Mike
headless and everybody
on
had-
his sideshow fame trip.
What if we didn't put it here,
Yeah.
but we just include it like later down here?
Yeah,
You could do that. That might flow better. Like while he was at the sideshow or while they were traveling, they cared for him in the hotel and stuff.
sideshow travel.
chickens and hotels.
Travel, yeah.
Only famous ones.
Only famous
Only
ones.
with that head.
Only Mike. He's probably the only one that was allowed.
Because it's like, my chicken's headless, can we come in?
They won't peck at anything.
They won't come. He's nice.
So you get the idea. You guys are gonna finish this keyword outline. It's gonna be pretty easy because you pretty much highlighted everything already. So just look for the facts that you highlighted that fit with these different topics here. Let's fill in this one though. This is number 3. Is probably gonna be
Yeah.
Mike's death and festival.
Mike's death and festival, that sounds hilarious.
That does sound bad.
Mike's dad. Oh, let's have a festival.
And then let's look at your checklist really quick.
Mike's. death
So you,
festival.
have you done this book before? I forgot to ask you the binder part before, or just the grammar? Just the grammar. Okay, so this is gonna be new to you, but you might need some help from your mom. I know she's looked at it before and done it before, so but on this checklist, that top part under structure, the most important things to remember, well, it's all important. So your name and date in the upper left-hand corner, double space, you guys are all good at that. And then the topic or the title, you're gonna give this a new title, right? And then your topic clincher, that tells you the rule right there. It repeats or reflects 2 to 3 keywords. Yeah, and this was Simeon's. I know this is Simeon's, but see how he has his highlighted the 2 keywords in the first sentence and the last sentence? That's what the topic clincher rule means. So, and then you see how he has other words underlined. So look on your checklist really quick, which is here. You have ly adverb. And I'm going to help you organize your binder before you go, because then you'll be able to have that list for you. ly adverb, a who, which clause, a strong verb, and a because clause. You have to have those 4 words underlined in each paragraph, okay? And then these band words, don't forget about those. They're banned because they're boring, not because they're bad words, but just because they're boring.
My brother.
We have, well, they're the same as last time.
Well, what about the new band?
Go went wasn't there last time?
No.
We forgot to talk about that. Let me
That
make a
means we have
note.
to do
We'll
it
do it, we'll do it next week.
Wait, what? So does
Yeah,
that mean?
I have to call my brother back real quick.
Wait, does that?
Don't use go went.
Sure, go.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
coming.
but like.
Go went
What's the time?
right now.
It's 49.
Okay, so don't use those words. Think of other words instead of go and went, but
So we
we'll talk
can't do
about
go
them in
went.
detail.
I mean, it's not, they're not like super.
They're not that hard, yeah.
Are we not allowed to do go went on this paper?
No.
Yes, correct. You're not
I
allowed.
mean, you're not, it's really not that hard. to do.
Yeah, that's
You're
easy.
It's like
in our homework or-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
49?
Okay, so, put everything in your front pocket of
Oh,
your
it's-
binder. That's where I like to have you guys keep this part.
The front pocket.
So you can just stick it in
I
there,
can put it in.
and then it'll be ready for you when you go to do
Oh, yeah.
your this week.
Wait.
And then I'll have you organize
Not
this one.
It's just in front of this.
Like that.
You are all set for today,
Okay.
and
I wanna go.
I'll turn it.
everybody.